You know, in preparing for this next interview, I was taken aback when I read that over the last 10 years, just over 6,500 rape cases were reported. 6,500. Of that number, less than half have been cleared up. I was also surprised about what cleared up meant. We've invited Deputy Superintendent Samantha Daly of Sissoka to expound on this. Good morning, DSP. Welcome to Smile Jamaica. Hope you're well, ma'am.
Good morning. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So let me start there, because when I was reading this, it said cleared up means that charges have been levied against accused persons, not convictions. Just charges.
Yes.
So if you get charged, that means it's cleared up. Explain that for me, please, ma'am.
All right. So really, it is a matter of the report being cleared. So once a report comes to the attention of the police, we conduct investigations around who would commit this offense. And once we are satisfied that it is this person that has committed the offense, we arrest them, we charge them, we put the case before the court. And the matter in the statistics for the police is now cleared. There's another statistics called convictions.
Okay.
That's different.
Okay. So from your charge, it's cleared up, but that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be convicted.
No, not necessarily, because it goes to the proposition that you are innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah.
But the police has enough evidence to levy charges on you for an allegation that has been made against you.
So before Delia, can you tell me how many were convicted of those that were cleared up?
Well, the conviction rate is lower than the clear-up rate. I can tell you that much.
Wow.
Because there are different technicalities that will cause a person to, what we term it as get off a case, or to be acquitted.
Okay.
From a case. And remember that criminal matters are done beyond reasonable doubt. And in cases of rape and sexual offenses, reasonable doubt, these things are done by jury. And once doubt is raised in the mind of the jury, they will be directed to acquit.
Wow.
So what are some of the challenges in terms of getting it cleared up? DSP, make we start there.
All right. Some of the challenges are, while sexual offenses are often perpetrated against children or by persons known to them, the same is not necessarily true for adults, especially in cases of rape. Like, there's a situation that's created, for example, where, let's say, for every 10 rapes committed, the perpetrator is only identifiable or identified in about 40 to 50% of those instances. Now, in those instances, is either the person is known to them, not known to them. And when the persons become unknown, there are two other factors that cause the unidentification of the perpetrator. Like, the person, the complainant or the victim, as you would call it, was intoxicated at the time when the offense was committed against them, or there is memory loss caused by the trauma of the sexual assault. So those are some of the things. You have instances where the fear factor is so much in sexual offenses, where once, like, if it's an aggravated offense, like the rape was perpetrated with the use of a firearm, that person now becomes only concerned with staying alive, even throughout the ordeal or after the ordeal. Now, that person's memory may just slip them by blocking out what is actually happening in an attempt to survive what is happening. So they will forget who it is. And remember, sometimes they don't know the person. There are now some instances of reports coming in, and sexual offenses are not matters that we can discuss, but just examples, there are a number of cases that come in. Person at a nightclub, they find themselves in a bathroom with persons that they don't know. Those persons sexually assault them and probably knock them out and leave them there. Then they are later found by the security guard, taken to the hospital. some evidence might be retrieved, but of course, you know, the drawbacks with the DNA database, although much has been done with that development in that technology.
Yeah, I mean, it's important to talk about those things because I know in this moment there are some people saying, "What? Those things happen in Jamaica?"
Yes.
And so I think that's part of the challenge, that we have to start sharing the stories so people come a little bit more aware. Because one of the things, sorry, Neville, that I came in before, one of the things the statistics say since COVID is that a lot of the perpetrators are people that are known.
Known.
We tell
No.
people, yeah, the people that are known. And that's another challenge for you as well, particularly when
But
it's so close to home.
Let me
Because
hasten the rebellion.
what happens in that case, Sissoko? Because I know there are ways in domestic violence that you can
Yes.
remove perpetrators from the victim. But what do you do in a case like this?
All right. In these instances, if it's against children,
Right.
the children are removed from the homes by CPFSA and placed in state care. When they are adults, we would give the adults some counseling. The Women's Center gives very, very well-needed assistance, but it's not permanent assistance. It's very, very temporary to get the female victim on their feet to get a place of their own where they can come out of the environment of the aggressor, and the police, the whole police investigation is not hampered by the aggressor. Sometimes if we get the report right away and we locate the aggressor, the police may, upon arresting that person and levying charges, they may indicate to the court that we would prefer if this person is not granted bail because the female still resides in the home, she has nowhere to go, and those sort of things.
Yeah. DSP, what is the sentence for rape? Give me the minimum and the maximum, because I guess every case could be different. So
Every case is done on different merits.
Yeah.
I've seen instances where there were 7-year sentences, but most times they go up past 15 years or thereabouts.
Okay. The other question that I have, when I watch television, I hear and read about a rape kit.
Yes.
If someone is raped, what is the first thing they should do? If someone is raped, what should they do, like right away?
All right. If you are raped or any sexual assaults are perpetrated against you, the first thing you need to do is report the matter to CISOCA. CISOCA has a multi-agency approach, and in that multi-agency approach includes a medical examination that is done with a sexual assault forensic examination kit. So it's called a safe kit, or as you know it as a rape kit. The evidence is collected in that kit and sent to the forensic laboratory for processing, and the analysis that comes back is presented in court on a certificate if somebody is arrested. If nobody is arrested, the material that is collected remains in the database, and hopefully we will get a hit when another crime is committed, whether a sex crime or another crime that has DNA components.
All right, let me jump in there. So you say the first thing to call, who did you say to call again?
The police.
The police. All right. So if I go to the hospital first, or the person who is raped goes straight
Yes.
to the hospital and tested, can the people at the hospital,
Yes.
for whatever, how they do it, can they decide whether, in fact, that person was raped, or is police must be there when all this is going on?
All right, the decision as to whether or not a person was raped is contained in the points to prove rape, whether the offense was committed without the consent of the victim, whether there was the element of fear, force, fraud, those kind of things. But separate and apart from that, once they go to the hospital, the hospital will contact the police, and CISOCA, a representative from CISOCA, will get to the hospital with a safe kit.
Okay. Okay. So the hospital by itself couldn't do that.
No.
Okay.
But they can conduct the examination as is required as a step in the multi-agency approach for investigating sexual assaults.
Yep. And I guess some of the reasons for not being cleared up is a lot of the people who are raped just don't come forward for whatever reason. They don't
A
want,
lot
to
of
be,
the time.
don't want to be embarrassed and stuff like that, right?
A lot of the times, there is great shaming in sexual assaults, and not everyone can withstand or find the courage to tell somebody else that this ordeal has happened to me, or that how could this happen to me? There may be instances where there are church persons who and sex outside of marriage is a sin and all of that. So you have a whole connections of instances where that person may have more than one reasons not to report it to the police. But I want to encourage persons today, if you have been sexually assaulted, rape, grievous sexual assault, having sexual intercourse with a person under the age of 16, any of those offenses, please tell the police. The police have recognized that caring for you by yourself is not going to happen. It's not going to help you through the trauma that you have undergone with having this offense committed against you. Tell the police. Activate the multi-agency approach that the police have developed. When you come into the police, we refer you to counseling. We get you the medical attention that is needed. We give you we prescribe medication for you that may prevent sexually transmitted diseases. And I want to encourage you that the best evidence is collected within the first 72 hours of the offense being committed against you.
Final
so
question.
Reach out to the police.
Final question, DSP, and you just said
Yes.
72 hours. I noticed I read in the United States that they're calling out people that things that happened 15 and 20 and 30 years ago. Is there a time limit here? If some
All right,
youngster...
there is no statute of limitations on sexual offenses in Jamaica. But to collect best evidence, the kit requires that evidence is at least 72 hours fresh.
Okay, fair enough. Thank you. Obviously, you know what's going on and you know what you're doing. Great to see you. Have a great holiday season, and God bless you and your colleagues.
Happy holidays to you too. Take care. Stay safe.
Thank you.
Deputy Superintendent Samantha Daly of Sissoka Kingston. Got to tell you tonight, you have to tune in here at 9:30. There's a special spotlight program that's going to be talking about gender-based violence, and some of the things we just discussed are going to be raised, and a lot of information that will be very useful. So please tune in at 9:30. He left high school without a CSEC subject, but now he holds a master's degree.